Ladies, gentlemen, and Haradrim of all ages, we are now a week into Season 5 for Diablo 4, and, well, whether you've been catching them yourself, heard about them from others, or have just been blissfully unaware of them, there are quite a few bugs that either did previously, or now continue to exist, within Season 5 for Diablo 4. Some pretty major ones as well. Today we're going to talk about what has been going on for the most part, the communication from the developers on currently known issues, what you may have missed being fixed since the last time that we talked about this kind of stuff, and what we expect to be fixed and the timeline that we've been given for that too. All that said, let's start off simple with the hotfixes that we've already had, just really quick rounding them up. The first hotfix changed a major exploit that let you achieve essentially infinite temper rerolls by enchanting a greater affix off of an item that was already at 0 temper rerolls. Due to the new system this season of greater affixes giving bonus rerolls, this would actually make your reroll count go down to -1. And because it was negative, it couldn't hit 0 because if you spent a temper reroll, it would go to -2, which then let you reroll infinitely as a result because negative numbers weren't stopping you from rerolling. This was fixed pretty quickly though. This hotfix was pretty fast, and it came along with another really major bug being fixed as well early in the season, which was some sort of difficult to pin down interaction between the new Crux unique dagger for rogues specifically and boss type enemies, where sometimes this would just do a really weird interaction where it would shoot a player up like 30 levels of experience in one kill. And this was a pretty big mystery during the initial leveling rush that a few people came across that has now been patched out, sadly, for those actually trying to level quickly as a rogue, as well as some other things too, but those were the main parts of hotfix 1. Then the very next day we had hotfix 2 hit, and this was a simple fix but an important one too, revealing that players aren't actually crazy because since the release of the season, a lot of people have just sort of been noticing an absurd amount of rings and amulets dropping compared to the other gear slots. Apparently this wasn't just sort of a mass hysteria event about loot or anything like that. This was an actual proper bug within the game where the game was just weighing jewelry drops more than it was the other slots, and this was fixed here in this hotfix. That was the main part of it, but it was also fixed along with an abyssal scroll bug and the classic various stability improvements. Past that, this one is as of yet unreleased. Theoretically soon though, we know of the existence of another hotfix hitting pretty much any time now. We were originally told probably Monday or Tuesday, and it is currently Tuesday right now, but never hold that to an exact prediction, of course, as these things can shift a little bit, and that's fine. That said, the main functions of this hotfix that we know of are going to be fixing a massive bug currently going on in the game and affecting players that are doing mid to high tiers of the new infernal hordes event, in which at the end there is a big chest in the middle that you can only open one time for 60 aether cost, and it's supposed to have a guaranteed greater affix item inside of it, at least one of them. Every time that you open it, at least one. Since hotfix 2, seemingly as a result of the jewelry drop rate fix, something to do with that, they sort of broke this and now it is simply inconsistent. This chest can still drop greater affix items, but this seems to be just the regular rate at which any legendary or unique drop can have a greater affix on it, rather than the chest being forced to have one no matter what, because sometimes you just won't get one from this chest, and it should be giving you one guaranteed. As well, this also seems to extend to the final reward box of the reputation track for the season, as this gives you a resplendent spark and it's supposed to also give you some bits of greater affix gear. But again, while this was working before hotfix 2, it has now become broken as part of the same bug affecting the greater affix chests. We also know that there are a number of other hotfixes being worked on right now by the dev team, at least one more of them probably hitting before the weekend, and two more things that are on the docket for fixes are the rune shard bug, which is, the rune shards are the material required to run the Artificer's Pit activity that was added last season. These are supposed to drop from mid to high tier Nightmare dungeon completions, and they just sort of aren't doing that right now, so this is something that definitely needs repairing if they want people to actually still do the pit. Then another one that I mentioned a few days ago that seems a bit less of a priority for the devs is the fact that certain new affixes, such as bonus ice sharp projectile chance on the blue rose unique ring for sorcerers, do not actually scale up with things like masterworking despite being regular affixes in every other way. This is significantly limiting any build affected by any of these affixes that is not actually scaling properly, and so hopefully this does get fixed sooner rather than later, but I do imagine we'll be getting things like rune shards before we have that happen, as it sort of cuts off a major part of the game rather than just being a part of one or two builds. Another pretty broken thing that I haven't seen a timeline on given to us though is something that you can take advantage of for the better while it is a thing in the game, and this is a bug with the purveyor of curiosities, the murmuring obol vendor. Well, obols are definitely less prevalent this season as far as the actual drop rate of them, especially as the main farm activity for most players is the infernal hordes, which just does not drop this currency. There is actually an important bug to be aware of for the obols that you do have, and that's that any mace items that you buy from them, specifically the one-handed mace, will always 100% be legendary. Only this slot. We don't know why. This has been a thing since the start of the season. It has gone mostly unnoticed, it would seem. At the very least, it has gone unmentioned by the developers. But while some of you may just be saying, okay, but maces are bad if you don't want to overpower damage as an implicit, so how does this help me? And the answer to that is legendary aspects. Weapons are locked to only have offensive slot legendary aspects spawn on them, and if every mace that you spawn from this vendor is guaranteed to be a legendary, that suddenly makes this the most efficient way to farm higher percentage rolls on offensive aspects to stick into your Codex of Power, at least for any class that is actually able to purchase maces, so basically just sorry to Rogue. That just about does it for today then, everyone. Just a roundup of some of the different fixes and changes to the game over the last week, as well as what we expect to change in the very near future. I hope you've all enjoyed this then, and I hope that it helps you out in some way for the meantime as well. Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.